Well, in many ways the best time to come to the Canaries is in the spring. At that time of year you're going to get the birds in the laurel forest will be singing and easier to find. The pigeons will be displaying and easier to find. There'll be houbara bustards displaying, and that is a fantastic thing to come and watch. So February to April will be an ideal time for that sort of thing. But we've come in August, and at times it's been almost unbearably hot, windy, muggy, and the birds have been quiet in the forests. So you might think, why have we come at this time of year? And the answer is the seabirds. We're now at the northern point of Lanzarote at a harbour called Orsala. From here you can see some islands that have fantastic breeding colonies of seabirds. But we're going to do better than just to explore those islands. We're going to go beyond those islands to an area where the water is really deep, the Banco de la Concepcion. And that's said to be probably the best place for pelagic bird watching in the whole of the Western Palearctic. And we're going to go on a boat trip to get ourselves out there for 2 nights.
Not only that, we're also going to spend a couple of hours looking for one of the rarest breeding birds in the Western Palearctic. Red-billed tropic bird has bred here this year. Danny Lopez Velasco of Lanzarote Pelagics describes where to look.
The cave where they are nesting is the lower one on the left. Okay?
Adults have been seen all summer until 3 days ago, but today they've gone AWOL. However, we do see something almost as exciting. Look in the water right of centre.
That's good.
Wow.
You see it there?
Yeah, I got it.
Wow.
Still coming.
Is it a hammer?
Yeah.
Hammerhead shark. After a meal by the harbour, we spend all night on a boat, so that by dawn we're in the best feeding area for the seabirds, 60 kilometres from shore.
So it's early morning on the Banco de la Concepcion, and we've got 2 boats out here. We've put out a block of ice that's got fish oil frozen in it, and as the ice melts the fish oil gets released and creates this great layer of scum across the surface of the water, and that's known as chumming. And that layer of fish oil is what attracts the petrels. They're attracted by its smell. And there are 3 particular petrels that I'm really excited about seeing here. One is Wilson's petrel that I've looked for off the UK a few times and never been successful. The other is Madeiran petrel, one that breeds off the coast of Portugal, but I've never seen it. It's about the only European breeding bird I've never seen, apart from Andalusian hemipode. And the other one is white-faced petrel, which is a speciality of this area. There's a huge colony on one of the set of islands further north, but those birds actually come over here to feed, and we're hoping to get them attracted to this chum.
There's the block of fish oil, and the shiny areas on the water show where the oil slick is. All we need are some birds. There's one. It's one of the storm petrels, a Madeiran. In fact, there are thought to be 4 species of Madeiran petrel, which all look very similar. Only one of those species breeds on Madeira, so they are now collectively called band-rumped petrel. It's not easy to film birds from a moving boat, but at least you get an idea of how dark the wings look both above and below, and how they swoop and glide on long wings like mini shearwaters. In slow motion you can see the ID features more clearly, the long pointed wings, the relatively narrow band of white on the rump, and although the wings look completely dark at first, if you get a good enough view, you can just see a faint pale line along the upper wing. This bird looks all dark too, even on the rump, but look at the shape of it. It's so pointed. And look at how it sweeps over the waves and darts about, sometimes in crazy zigzags. This is Buller's petrel. In slow motion you can see the long, narrow, pointed tail more clearly. And again you realise it's not completely dark, but has a pale panel on the upper wing. Wow, this is great, but the next bird is even better. White-faced petrel! They're paler overall, and they have white on their head and body. And look how they fly! Dipping to meet the water like skimming stones. Oh, they're gorgeous. Now you can see clearly the extent of the white, including the grey and white head pattern. What a bird! Despite that flurry of excitement, much of the time at sea is really quiet. Until the next bird. Another of the storm petrels, but which one? It all happens so fast, so let's slow it down. The underwing is all dark, so it can't be British storm petrel. And the pale panels on the upper wing are so obvious that it can't be band-rumped petrel. This is Wilson's petrel. I've seen one at last. Out of the dull grey sky comes another good bird. An adult long-tailed skua. And maybe this fishing boat has attracted something special. They're using a rod and line to catch tuna, but we're more interested in that bird at the front. A great shearwater. Look at how the secondaries flash pale. And you can also see the classic field marks: black cap, white face and collar, and white band across the top of the tail. Fantastic stuff, but Silvio, on the left, was looking for one bird in particular. This one, a Sabine's gull. Surely the most beautiful gull in the world. Believe it or not, the leader Danny was a bit disappointed not to have found a mega rarity. But hey, that's the best sea watching I've ever done. And, along with the bustards and the laurel pigeons, the desert birds and the canaries endemics, I hope you've enjoyed it too.